À l'instar de M. Franceschini, la majorité des détenus étaient des personnes importantes dans leur communauté. Leur arrestation devait servir d'exemple aux autres Italo-Canadiens. Les actes du gouvernement ont aussi poussé les citoyens ordinaires à s'en prendre aux Italiens. Les commerces italo-canadiens ont été la cible de boycottage. Les employés ont été ostracisés par leurs collègues et renvoyés par leurs employeurs. Des pierres tombales italiennes ont même été vandalisées. Toutefois, malgré les coups portés aux Italo-Canadiens pendant la guerre, on ne peut douter de leur loyauté envers le Canada. La communauté a grandement contribué à l'effort de guerre. Nombreux ont été des jeunes hommes à se porter volontaires pour combattre dans les forces armées canadiennes, et les jeunes femmes italiennes ont soutenu l'effort de guerre par leur travail au sein de la Croix-Rouge. Since World War II and the decades after the internment, Italian Canadians continued to embrace Canada just as they had prior. The dream of integrating into their new homeland was pursued anew, and the contributions they have made to Canadian society in fields such as arts, politics, business, sports, science, the humanities, and any other sector you can think of has been of great benefit to Canada. It is also true that Canadians have become aware of issues pertaining to human rights and cultural diversity over the years, and as a result, the inherent injustice of the actions taken against people of Italian origin as a result of being designated enemy aliens is evident to all Canadians who are aware of this issue. As we are more enlightened now than we once were, I think that resistance to redressing this issue is nothing short of ridiculous. We know what happened. We know that what happened was wrong. So I only ask you this, Mr. Speaker. Since 1940, why hasn't the Canadian Prime Minister stood up in this chamber and apologized? The Government of Canada has issued official apologies through the Prime Minister in this House of Commons to groups such as Chinese Canadians, Indian Canadians, Aboriginal Canadians, and Japanese Canadians who were also interned during the World War II. And our country has been strengthened in each instance because we did the right thing. Why will it not do the same for Italian Canadians? Why does the government continue to pit groups against each other? For justice and recognition? Is there a moratorium on doing the right thing that I am unaware of? Or does the government believe that the injustice visited upon Italian Canadians during the World War II was too insignificant to warrant a proper apology? This is an apology for Canadians by Canadians. It's a time, Mr. Speaker, for the Government of Canada to do the right thing, offer an apology in the House of Commons for the internment of persons of Italian origin during World War II. Voilà, en substance, pourquoi nous devons adopter ce projet de loi. En tant que député de Saint-Léonard et Saint-Michel, une circonscription qui regroupe la plus forte concentration de résidences d'origine italienne au pays, je peux vous assurer que mes électeurs et ma communauté estiment que la situation a assez duré et qu'elle doit être réglée une fois pour toutes. The Italian community is united on this issue. They have been patient and perhaps too patient, as there are very few, if any, individuals alive out there today who were interned, but many of their children who also bore the brunt of this injustice and experienced this firsthand are still with us. And any action taken to address the suffering caused by the internment of their parents would be more meaningful if we could look at them in the eye when that action is taken. It would also be tragic if we continue to allow a generation of Canadians to remain unaware of their own history. For better or for worse, it is our history and we must claim ownership of it. The longer we wait, the more difficult it will be to reclaim it. And soon it will be lost to us forever, and with this the opportunity to better ourselves. Time is not on our side in this instant. Again, this would not only be for the benefit of one ethnic community, but for our entire country. If history has taught us anything, it is that those who forget the mistakes of the past are doomed to repeat them. One wonderful thing about Canada is that it is a brave country. We have always had enough courage to look at ourselves objectively, recognize our flaws, own up to our mistakes, and take up difficult challenges before they become too immense to handle. Every time we have done so, our country has benefited immensely. This is why my bill proposes that the Government of Canada officially recognizes, apologizes, and provides restitution, which should be based on the agreement in place signed on November 12, 2005 between the Government of Canada and the Italian Canadian community. of which the signatories were the National Congress of Italian Canadians, the National Federation of Canadian Italian Business and Professional Association, the Order of Sons of Italy of Canada, and la Fondation Communautaire Italienne du Québec, which called for the Government of Canada to pay $12.5 million in restitution to the Italian-Canadian community for the internment of Italian Canadians during World War II. Je suis persuadé que nous pouvons corriger l'erreur qui représente l'internement des personnes d'origine italienne. Je propose pour cela la production de matériel éducatif portant sur l'histoire des Canadiens d'origine italienne, promouvant l'harmonie ethnique et raciale, et faisant aussi bien le récit des internements pendant la Seconde Guerre mondiale que celui de la contribution des Italo-Canadiens à l'avancement du Canada. Je propose aussi l'émission d'un thème ou d'une série de thèmes par Post Canada. Ce serait là un moyen idéal de faire connaître cette histoire d'un bout à l'autre du Canada, puisque le processus menant à sa réalisation est simple, déjà établi et ne requiert aucun investissement supplémentaire. I would like to close on a more personal note, Mr. Speaker. My personal story is but a footnote in the ever-growing book of Canadian history, but it is indicative of the progress Canadians of Italian origin have made over the years as a result of living in such a wonderful country. This story does not, however, have this story does have a dark chapter that stands starkly in contrast with all the others. I say it is time to write a new ending to this chapter. Even if it is 69 years after the fact, we must acknowledge, apologize, and redress the wrongs of the past so we can turn the pages once and for all on this dark chapter in Canadian history. I'm proud Canadian, born and bred, but I don't see this as being a battle, my battle, but as my country's battle. To win the war against the most insidious enemy there is, and that is apathy. It is what stops a good person from being moved to fight against what they know is wrong. I have the honor to go to work every day and serve my country while honoring my heritage. My constituents and community have put their faith in me, and I must always be willing to stand up against what I know is wrong to justify their trust. That's all I am doing here today, Mr. Speaker. I'm standing up against what I know is wrong, and I hope the good people who fill this chamber choose to stand with me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.